Have you ever felt stuck in an endless cycle of revisions? As a web designer, you probably know what it feels like when a client asks you to try just one more color tweak or swap out yet another stock photo. Sadly, it is not uncommon for website projects to get dragged out by weeks or even months this way. Thankfully, there is a way to avoid all this, and it's got to do with how you handle the presentation of your completed website. I learned this the hard way, and in this video, I'm sharing my proven approach to getting your website designs approved quickly. Picture this. You've been working on a client website for the last few weeks, and after agonizing over every little detail, it is finally done. The website is ready. What do you do now? Do you simply send the link to your client and say, "Let me know what you think"? This is what most designers do, but this approach can lead to so many unnecessary problems. To start with, clients can just feel overwhelmed by the amount of work and content that they have to review, and they might not even feel sure about what they're supposed to do with this website. Keep in mind that for most clients, this is probably the first time that they've ever worked with a professional web designer. When your client doesn't know what to focus on, they might end up fixating on smaller details instead of seeing the bigger picture. And when they can't see the big picture, when they can't fully understand the strategy behind your design, they can lose confidence in your work and even in you as their designer. The alternative solution, the approach that I recommend for most designers, is to present the website to your client over a live video call. This is your presentation call. During the call, you would guide the client step by step through the website, explaining key design decisions. This way, you're helping your client keep the focus on what's most important, their target audience, so the people who are going to be using this website, and the project goals, so why you built this website in the first place. I love presentation calls because it helps the client appreciate the value of your work, it helps you strengthen your relationship with your client, and it just sets the tone for a super smooth approval process. When I started presenting websites over live calls, I noticed an immediate improvement in my client feedback and approval process. My clients felt more confident and they were more engaged because they understood my work and they could see the value of my work, which meant that they trusted me more and were happy to quickly give me the green light to move forward. I'm excited to share with you exactly what to cover during a live presentation call, but first, in case we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Danbee. I'm a web design mentor based in Switzerland, and I love helping web designers sell and deliver high-ticket websites while minimizing revisions and maximizing their business growth. You can get started with my programs for free at danbeeshin.com/training. A common challenge during a website presentation is that clients can get caught up in their personal preferences, which aren't always relevant or aligned with what is beneficial for their business. And this can often lead to unnecessary changes or delays, which is not helpful for anyone. I don't think I need to tell you that if you make changes based on what your client personally likes or dislikes without keeping the big picture strategy in mind, you're likely to end up with a website that does not serve its purpose. Your website might look the way your client wants, but it's not going to deliver the results that your client needs. And that's why it's so important to keep the project goals front and center. I start every presentation call by reminding my client of the project goals. These would have been documented in the project brief at the start of the project before I did any design work and approved by the client in writing. So I might say something like, we agreed that the goal of this website is to encourage good fit clients to apply for your coaching program while repelling poor fit clients whose values don't align with yours. We also said that another goal was to create a smooth client journey and minimize the time currently spent on individual conversations and on social media promotion. We also said that it was important for the website to strike a balance between being high-end and approachable, as well as empathetic and unapologetically candid. We also wanted organic graphic elements to balance out the very logical and systematic nature of your work in instructional design. When you start the call with this simple reminder, you're creating this shared focus for you and the client. You help make sure that the client evaluates their new website based on how well it meets their objectives, instead of whether they just like the look of something. Also, it's easy to underestimate this, but it's reassuring for your client to even just hear that you've been strategic and intentional in your work, and that makes it more likely for them to approve your designs quickly. I would love to hear whether you set project goals with your clients. Give me a yes or no in the comments. Yes, you set project goals for every client project. No, you don't explicitly talk about project goals with your clients. I'm super curious. During a presentation, it's only natural for your clients to have questions or reactions as they see their website for the first time. But when questions come up during your walkthrough, it can disrupt the flow of the call, and this can also be how you get stuck talking about small details before your clients have even had the chance to see the whole website. As a result, you might run out of time or attention and not get to show your clients how all the different elements of the website work together to achieve your project goals. And that can lead to a lot of misunderstandings and back and forth. To avoid all this, I make it clear at the start of the presentation that there will be time at the end for questions. I might say, I know you'll probably have a lot of thoughts and questions, and I want to make sure that we cover everything. So as I go through the website, feel free to jot down any questions and we'll address them all at the end. This way, you can see how everything works together before we dive into specific details. This simple step keeps the walkthrough smooth and focused. It also sets the right tone for the rest of the call. It tells your client that you've got this under control and that they're in good hands. Another reason I recommend doing this is because it'll make your question and answer segment at the end of the call much more productive and efficient, because a lot of your clients' questions will be answered as you guide them through the website. So they'll have fewer questions by the end of the call. So many revisions can be prevented by this next thing that I want to share, and that's showing your clients how their target audience will use the website. This website that you're presenting, it is not for your client. It's not for their teenager or their neighbor or their friend from yoga, not unless those people are a part of their target audience. And these are all real life examples of people that my clients have asked for feedback from about websites that I've made. The surest way to minimize revisions is to show your client how the website serves their audience. And this is why I always frame the walkthrough from the perspective of the ideal customer. So I go through the website as my client's ideal customer might. And on each page, I explain 3 key things. 1 is the goal of the page. What is the purpose of this page? 2 is the main call to action, or the CTA. What action do we want the ideal customer to take here? And 3 is important design and copy elements. So how do these elements help achieve the goal and lead the ideal customer to take action? For example, on the About page of a client website, I might say things like, the goal of this page is to share who you help and why. We want to make an emotional connection with your prospective coaching clients. The main CTA here is to go to your services page to learn more about how they can work with you. To make it very clear that this is the next step, this headline and the button are very clear and bold. I included testimonials that focus on who you are as a person, your values, and how your past clients feel about their experience working with you. Your prospective clients will definitely be interested in that. I use these more personal, casual photos of you with these busts of Greek philosophers and explain how their teachings guide your work. I hope these examples show you that you can keep this simple. Providing these kinds of explanations doesn't have to be complicated. What is important is that you explain to your client what is happening on each page and help them understand how their ideal customer will experience the website. What is really cool is that this is also often when your client sees for the first time how their vision and messaging has been translated into this visual language of a website, and you made it happen. Seeing their ideas come to life this way is a really special experience, and the more you can help them appreciate that experience, the easier it's going to be for them to approve your design. So many designers end up having to go back and forth with their clients during the revision process because they do not educate their clients on how to work with them. Clients can't read your mind. They don't know how you want them to give them feedback. They don't know what is helpful and what is not helpful. So if you just say, okay, let me know what you think, they are just gonna let you know what they think. This is how you end up with vague or unhelpful comments like, I don't like this shade of blue. Can we replace this photo with something else? This part doesn't make sense. Can we try this font instead? These are the kinds of comments that leave you wondering, what am I supposed to do with this? To prevent wasting time and honestly energy managing feedback like this, I give my clients clear guidelines for providing feedback at the end of the presentation call. So I'll say, I've just given you a ton of information. Please take a couple of days to sit with the website, then give me your feedback by X date. If you're happy with this version of the website, just let me know that you're good to move forward. If you have any requests for changes, please share them with me in a written list. And for each change, it would be so helpful if you shared with me a brief explanation for why this change is important in the context of your target audience or project objectives. This way, I can make sure that I fully understand your requests and come up with better solutions. When clients have clear guidelines for providing feedback, the revision process becomes so much more focused and efficient. And because this comes after your walkthrough, your clients understand how to evaluate the website with their target audience and the project objectives in mind. And also, by giving them some time to reflect, you're filtering out impulsive and unstrategic change requests. You might be surprised at how often clients will come back and say, all good, no changes needed, I'm happy to move forward. And if they do want revisions, that is good news too. The feedback that you get at this stage after the presentation call will be strategic, thoughtful, and aligned with your project goals. These revisions will lead to a stronger website that both you and your client can be so proud of. Now, you have a clear plan for using presentation calls to get faster client approvals. In my next video, I'm sharing how to become a full-time web designer in 2025. I'm talking about what is changing, what's staying the same, and how to position yourself to land high-ticket clients on a consistent basis. So click on the video showing up in your screen, and I'll see you over there.